Hello, this is John Anton of IHS Global Insight. I'm the Director of the Steel Services and a member of the Pricing and Purchasing team. Today I'm going to talk about the steel industry and what you can look forward to for 2013 and 2014. Essentially, it's going to be a buyer's market. There is good restraint in North America, Europe, and in most parts of the world for production, but the Chinese are grossly overproducing, and it is going to keep the market at or near surplus all this year and possibly into 2014. So what we're looking for are low prices through the summer and maybe a rally next year. The reason really is that we have seen production rise in China to record levels. As the slide shows here, China is at the all-time record for March, and they had a very strong 2012. In 2009, 10, and 11, they had production cutbacks that did not happen last year. This has pushed the market into a very strong position from the supply side, and prices simply cannot rally. There was an attempt at a rally for December through March where prices rose off the November lows, but prices are already falling back down in April and continue to drop in May. They won't go down much farther, they're already quite low, but they will have a very hard time rallying before the end of the year. In fact, prices will have a nearly impossible time going much lower. Chinese steel mills are already selling below cost. That is, they're making steel and selling it for less than the cost of the iron ore, coal, and labor that they're putting into it. This cannot continue. There's a bad joke in economics. We're losing 10 cents an item, we'll make up for it on volume. It's a path to bankruptcy. It's what the Chinese are trying to do. You can't lose money on every item and make up for it on volume and stay in business. There will have to be production cutbacks later in the year, or they will have to be subsidized. There's really not a third alternative. So can the Chinese keep producing? Well, we don't think they have very good retained earnings because they ran losses in 2012, so they're not going to have a lot of money left over to run subsidized losses directly themselves in 2013. The only alternatives are getting money directly from provincial or the national government in China, or to borrow money from banks. If they get money directly as subsidies, this would open them up to anti-dumping and countervailing duty damages, and the Chinese government is very reluctant to do so, knowing that it would open the door to tariffs and other type of retaliatory measures in Europe and the United States. Therefore, they're going to have to borrow money to cover losses or cut back on production. And banks will have a hard time loaning money to people who lost money in 2012, lending them more money to cover more losses in 2013. We do expect production cutbacks. Because of this, we expect prices to be able to rally late this year and into 2014. Now, it's still not going to be an extremely high price then. We're looking at price increases of about 10 to 15%. The alternative is the banks do lend the money. They do continue to operate at a loss, which they have shown they're quite willing, and actually it is effectively the business plan. And if they keep operating at a loss, then prices globally will not be able to rally, or it will be very mild in 2014. So the number one alternative, the greatest risk to the forecast, is actually in your favor as buyers. That prices in 2014 will stay as low as they are in 2013. Now, this is great news for buyers, but you have to be realistic. Eventually, your supplier can't keep up with this. You have to start worrying if losses run this long about the viability of your supplier. We don't think suppliers are in danger of going bankrupt. We don't want to be alarmist, but it is a fact that someone will have to cut production eventually. We think it should be in China. That's where the overproduction is coming from. That's where the cuts should be made. But if they stay low in 2014, prices cannot stay low forever. There will have to be some reckoning. For more information on the forecast or to see about other commodities, please come to our website at ihs.com. Thank you.